Hi, I'm Michelle Martin, a public health inspector with the region of Durham. Storm's brewing. Sounds like it's going to be a real good one. On today's vlog, we're going to discuss food safety when the power goes out. That was a close one. I was afraid that might happen. Power bumps and outages are very common this time of year. Luckily, it was just a bump. But what would you do if it was a full-on outage? Let's go over some tips on how to keep your food safe in case the power goes out. The number one rule when it comes to food safety during a power outage is to try to keep the doors to your fridge and freezer closed. Every time you open that door, warm air is going to rush in and make that temperature inside go up. We want to keep your fridge as close to or below 4 degrees Celsius and your freezer minus 18 degrees Celsius or below as possible. Having a full fridge will actually keep your food safer. If it's only about half full, that food is going to be safe inside for about 4 hours. If it's full, it jumps up to between 6 and 12 hours, depending on how often you open the door. Don't open the door, and the time that it remains safe goes up. Best way to check your food is to have a thermometer in the fridge before the power goes out. Even getting a cheap dollar store outdoor thermometer and putting it in your fridge at the back will help you determine if your food is still safe once the power comes back on. The freezer part of a fridge-freezer combo will keep food safe for up to 24 hours if it's full. If it's only half full, that number drops down to 12 hours. Again, you're going to want to maybe keep a thermometer in that freezer compartment to make sure your food stays at minus 18 degrees Celsius. Any thawed food that's been at room temperature for 2 hours or more needs to be thrown out. It's like the old adage says, when in doubt, throw it out. When the power comes back on, if you get an item and you notice there are still ice crystals, that means that the food is partially thawed but still partially frozen. It is actually safe to refreeze this product, provided that it has the ice crystals and is still at least refrigerator cold. The quality might diminish in the product, but it will be safe. Chest freezers such as this will keep food frozen for up to 48 hours if it's full and the lid remains closed. If the freezer is only half full, that number drops down to 24 hours. If you know that the power is going to be out for a while, you could go to a local store that still has power and purchase bags of ice to help keep the food colder longer. Alternately, you could also take the food, put it into a cooler with whatever remaining ice and ice packs you have, and take it to a friend or family member's house that still has power. So we've talked about some do's when it comes to food safety in a power outage. Now for some don'ts. Don't use a barbecue indoors, whether it be in the house, in the garage, or a shed, because that will poison the air and will not be safe for you. If you have anything like infant formula, or medication such as this insulin that requires refrigeration, always call your doctor or pharmacist to see if it's still safe once the power comes back on. If you're on a well system and happen to use treatment such as a UV light, remember that it's not going to work if the power is off. Don't use any well water if you're not assured of its safety. Always use an alternate source such as bottled water to be sure it's safe during the power outage. It's really coming down. Thanks everyone for joining me on today's vlog. I hope that you learned a few tips and tricks to keep your food safe no matter what the weather. Hungry for more information? Why not subscribe to our channel or follow us on Facebook or Twitter? Go to the link below for more information on how to keep your food safe during a power outage. Thanks again everyone, and best dishes.